this might be a controversial thing. The two players I would like to call out, those are Bruno and Marcus Rashford. Hello and welcome to the another episode of False9 Podcast. Many people have been asking me, कब आ रहा है यूनाइटेड का वीडियो, कब आ रहा है यूनाइटेड का वीडियो. This is the one. Okay, so let's address the elephant in the room. So Erik Ten Hag, कहाँ है प्रोग्रेस, कब आएगा प्रोग्रेस? हमने लास्ट वीडियो में भी बोला था जब we started this season that we will see Ruud van Nistelrooy as a first team manager at some point of time, and I think it is going to happen as per the reports, because if you see, leaks have started coming out already. The other thing is the way we are playing tactically, the way we are set up tactically. It is easy to nullify United's tactical game. How we uh, make huge gaps in our midfield and defense. So this has to stop somewhere. And if we can find out that this is the problem, and we don't even have the tactical acumen of any European coaches. So if we can figure it out, why can't Erik Ten Hag figure this out? And from last season to this season, I am genuinely concerned about how we are going to go ahead. Now, this responsibility of him managing everything, that is also gone. We have good people, strong people above him, and still we don't see the progress. Then it is a really concerning thing after signing the contract. If you are going to play this kind of rubbish football in your third season, when there should be actual football, justified football that people and fans should be able to see. I don't know. This is extremely concerning as a United fan, because this is ridiculous. This is absolutely ridiculous. These players take hefty wages, hefty fees to play for the club that we love, but and हम लोग का मजाक हो रहा है. 10 साल से मजाक हो रहा है, and this has to stop now. This has to stop.
Yeah,
हो
I
गया मेरा.
mean, with ETH, the thing I feel is that I've mentioned this earlier as well in our podcast that I think there is a style of play. I just think that style of play is not good enough because the two highlight results for us this season have been one against Liverpool that we lost 3-0, and the other more recently against Tottenham, right? How different are those two teams actually playing from us? They are actually playing a pretty similar sort of setup to what United wants to play. But at
Hmm.
the same time, they are able to make it work and we aren't. So I don't know if this is a tactical problem or this is purely a communication problem from ETH, because
Hmm.
most of these players are starters for their national teams or whichever club they played before. They started several games there. So it's not like these players are completely tactically inadept, right? They're not dumb
Correct.
players.
Correct. No, they are not.
So I think there is a huge communication gap, and but irrespective of anything, the results have been absolutely poor. If you look at the last 10 games of the previous managers that have been sacked, the last 10 games of ETH have been the worst. If you look at the stats and if you look at the points that we are getting out of games, there is absolutely no excuse, no
Yes.
sort of justification I can sit here and make for this.
True. And before I forget, just one thing. In the last match that we played at home, we were set up as a counter-attacking team. How are you justifying this when 9 out of 11 players are your signings, or you have given them the chance? Correct me if I'm wrong. Where Bruno or Rashford, every player that has started this game were ETH regime signing. Correct?
Yeah, yeah.
And he has said it correct that eras come to an end, and I can see his era is coming to an end very soon.
This is his team, these are his players. This is he has the complete sort of ownership over what this team is now. So there are no excuses left here. I can't sit here and just say the same thing over and over again.
Yeah,
It's
man. Yeah,
tiring.
man.
I think a lot has already been spoken by both of you. I will say that tactically, maybe ETH is still not there because in the last game, I felt he should have done much better. After the red card, in terms of in terms of the way the team should have been set up, right? Uh, but I didn't see that sort of uh, you know that sort of a team which was thinking smart. Okay, it felt as
Hmm.
if the team only had one plan and there was no plan B at all, which
Correct.
eventually led to those two other goals. I mean, I'm okay with the fact that we conceded an early goal. That has
Hmm.
happened before, and
Hmm.
we have recovered before as well. Okay, but to again concede a second one just after the second half,
Yeah.
okay, and then the way we were carved open, the first goal itself should have been enough to kind of say कि यार मेरा midfield खाली क्यों है, मेरे को कुछ
Hmm.
चेंज करने दो. गेटिंग इट. सो इन बिटवीन जो ट्वीक्स करना है वो नहीं हुआ. रेड कार्ड के बाद जो ट्वीक हुआ, चल ठीक है, रेड कार्ड नाउ हैज बीन दैट रेड कार्ड थिंग हैज बीन सॉल्व. ठीक है, ब्रूनो इज बैक फॉर द नेक्स्ट गेम. But in that moment, when you see that you are playing with 10 versus 11, especially
Hmm.
versus a team that has already cut you open once in that
Hmm.
half, okay, first half, you should have done much better. And
Correct.
Yeah.
yes, I think a large part of it is also due to the communication, because it's not that Ten Hag has not been successful, and it is also not that the players have not been successful elsewhere. But in terms of lifting up the morale, I don't think he has that in him, and something needs to be done, because ये ना बार बार ऐसा हो रहा है ड्रेसिंग रूम में across different managers कि once that morale dips beyond a certain
Yeah.
point, that that manager is gone. ठीक है. अब तो he
Pretty
has to now
much.
do something to bring up the morale, as long as show that tactical acumen during the game as well. Otherwise, वही era will come to an end.
I think
Hmm.
like scoring goals is the problem. I don't think so. ETH teams in the last 3 years, we have absolutely struggled to score goals. Even in the
Hmm.
first year, which all of us admit ETH's best season was his first season so far.
Hmm.
Uh,
Hmm.
we did score a lot of goals. We came third in the Premier League, won a Carabao Cup, but 60% of those goals came from Marcus Rashford alone. So if
Hmm.
Rashford wasn't firing that season, then ETH was in big trouble even back then, because we were not scoring enough goals, which is the whole reason why we signed Rasmus Højlund. And 3 years, if you can't get a team of high quality attackers to start scoring, like these are very big attackers, yeah. Like Hoyland had a very good record in Serie A. Rashford has proven on multiple seasons that he can give you 20 to 25 if he gets in form. Garnacho can chip in with 10, 15. Amad Diallo should be chipping in with 10, 15. Bruno is a big goal scorer, but for some reason under ETH, his goals have really dried out. I mean, like, where are the goals? Like, if you're going to concede three, then you might as well be prepared to score four, right? That should be at least the logic you
Hmm.
operate on. But
Hmm.
goals are simply not there.
Agreed everything what you have just said. Plus two, three things. He used to play such great dynamic football. What happened? He was hired for that. We all know this. He went back to the team strength, which is a counter-attacking football, which is where this guy thrives. From the second season, he changed his tactics completely with man-to-man high press, and we all saw the results. क्या हुआ उसमें? Midfield was carved open. We gave him the new defense. Left back problem I will not address anymore because Dallo and Mazurai both can play left back.
Yeah.
Hmm. Hmm.
So players are not the problem anymore. You can't down tool players anymore. This might be a controversial thing. The two players I would like to call out, those are Bruno and Marcus Rashford. This favoritism from ETH has to stop somewhere. I think those are the issues. एक बार ड्रॉप करके देख ना ब्रूनो को देख ले ही इज आउट ऑफ फॉर्म प्ले समवन एल्स इन द मिडफील्ड वी हैव इनफ प्लेयर्स
Yeah,
ट्राई
try to
समवन
play a
एल्स
more solid midfield. Maybe Mason Mount.
या
Maybe Ericsson. We have Ericsson, who's a classy number
करेक्ट
10.
करेक्ट
Maybe,
एंड रिटेन द बॉल इफ यू तुम अगर प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस में आके बड़े बड़ी बातें कर रहे हो कि वी वांट टू सफोकेट अपोजिशंस इनटू द फाइनल थर्ड bro your team is the one who is suffering
yeah,
in their final third and you see Pep Guardiola. They retain the ball, they don't waste opportunities. They always hold the possession. And if you want to be great at possession playing football, I don't know, Bruno and Rashford are the answer, because they are counter attacking players. ब्रूनो को हर पास एक अमेजिंग पास में कन्वर्ट करना है. नो, sometimes you have to play simple passes. Go and back pass, not a problem. Just retain the possession, because the more ball you have, the more chances you will create.
Hmm.
And converting chances are the problem that is on the strikers. That is not on the coaching problem. But the way we are set up, that is the biggest issue. We don't put many crosses from any of the wings.
Yeah.
We only play counter-attacking football. That too from Rashford and Garnacho.
And I think in the midst of this, what Ten Hag is trying to do now, if you look at the way we play as well, ठीक है, final third की जैसे मैं तूने बात की थी, okay, and also Azman, you are mentioning that the biggest problem here is that we are not scoring enough goals. Last season we were not creating enough chances. This season we're creating enough chances, barring the
Yeah.
Tottenham game. This season we are creating enough chances, but we're not converting them. So in a way, what is happening is the strikers or the forwards are unable to convert the chances,
Hmm.
and we are also not able to retain the ball. So we
Correct.
are all over the place. Okay, and this needs to be addressed. I don't know how ETH will do it. He probably has 2 games or 3 games, I don't know, in his locker to change things around. Which, considering the fixture, I'm not sure how is he going to do.
And this style of play, if you read Andy Mitten's report as well that came
Hmm.
out
Hmm.
yesterday
Hmm.
on the Athletic,
Yes.
Yeah.
he even wrote, and Andy Mitten is very respectable. He usually doesn't put out anything that isn't very well sourced or verified. He said that
Correct.
when he was
Yeah.
speaking to a lot of the players after the FA Cup final, a lot of them sort of disagreed about ETH's style of play and the way he sets up the team, because a lot of them were
Hmm.
disappointed that some 17th placed club in the league is coming to Old Trafford and running through our midfield without any obstruction. So yeah, I mean, style of play, confidence of players, I think all of that is at an all-time low with ETH right now. See, we are
So,
the best team in transition in the world. We are the best transition team in the world. We are the best at transitioning from one manager to another. We've been doing it for the last 10 years now.
it might not go down well with a lot of the United fans. But I think there's no shame in admitting that we are now officially a very mid-table sort of a club. This also, like, as you were mentioning, के managers आ रहे हैं, वो cycle हो रहा है. I think somewhere there needs to be a hard stop, and I'm hoping Ineos is that owner of ours, where they put down or lay down a clear set of objectives. नहीं मीट हुआ, move on. अरे भाई 600 मिलियन का है इस बार, ठीक है, क्या हो रहा है, कुछ नहीं हो रहा है, ठीक है.
I also
And
think na yaar, that as fans we are putting like too much expectation on Ineos as well, as to के ये लोग आ गए हैं तो अब सब चीज behind the scenes सही हो जाएगी, which is fair.
हम्म,
Like we haven't had a structure for 20 years, तो अब आया है तो अपने लिए वो big deal है.
हम्म,
But at the same time, some of like they also look very confused here. Like back in
हम्म,
June they were not sure about whether to sack ETH or to not, how to go about
हम्म,
that whole situation. And now that you have given him a new contract within 1.5 2 months, again you are at the point where you are having to think about the same decision again that you took just 2 months ago.
हम्म,
So I think this is the
हम्म,
time for Ineos to decide whether you want to stick with ETH and risk going through the season and not making it to the Champions League, and hence losing all that potential money that you could be earning. So it's a tough
and
call, but yeah,
yeah, yeah.
ये रैशफोर्ड चले जाए यार, ये बस
नहीं
खाना
नहीं
दे
नहीं
दूसरों
नहीं
बच्चों
नहीं
को जाके.
नहीं नहीं,
इट्स ओके,
मेरे को खाना
प्लीज.
देगा वो, मेरा
नहीं
खाना है
नहीं,
वो.
चले जाए चले जाए, बस हो
They,
गया. आई प्लीज.
Rashford is one guy who
नहीं.
has to lift the Premier League, and Bruno obviously, though both of them have to lift the Premier League. बहुत
Both of
unfair
them
होगा.
can't pass the ball, can't retain the
तू
possession
कर
as
सकता
of
है क्या,
now.
चलना बैठ के इधर ही बात कर रहे हैं ना. No.
So I have my reservations. Anyway, jokes apart, before I forget, Buggy talked about vision of the club, and our
Yeah.
own CEO Shri Omar Barada had said that club will win or will try to win a Premier League by 2028 or in 2028 in a celebration of club's 150th anniversary. I just want to say one thing.
नहीं होने
जैसा
वाला
चल
भाई.
रहा है, ऑल द बेस्ट. हम ट्रॉफी जरूर लिफ्ट करेंगे, बट इन लीग वन.
So, yeah, I mean, vision aside, what I was also wanting to talk about is there have been reports, especially from, I think there was this YouTube live stream from Muppeteers where a lot of discussion had happened. Apparently,
Hmm.
now Ineos are looking at a few managerial contenders, but reports have emerged that the likes of Karen McKenna are not wanting to leave Ipswich. Nagelsmann is not interested. Thankfully, Ineos is not interested in Southgate, and were previously considering Potter as well.
So, like I predicted in one of our previous episodes, I can see Ruud van Nistelrooy coming as an interim manager. And Muppeteer also
Mm,
said that behind the scene he has impressed everyone a lot, but they will not give him full-time contract like Ole or something like that. But they are also seeing Xabi Alonso, Ruben Amorim, and Kieran McKenna.
mm,
Let's not
mm,
forget that Kieran McKenna is the same guy who United fans and players were making the fun of. And after his achievement with Ipswich, now we are again switching back to him is actually a joke on United. And we should all collectively take a big L. And Ruben Amorim, I think he rejected Liverpool last year, or Liverpool rejected him after one interview. I'm not quite sure of that. And Xabi
mm,
Alonso is like मैं बोरिवली में बैठ के, तू नवी मुंबई में बैठ के आजमान, एंड बगी यू कैलकाटा में बैठ के आर ड्रीमिंग ऑफ some Hollywood actress. It is never going to happen. It is not going to happen. And there are two reasons. Main reason is he's a Liverpool legend, one. And second, the moment Carlo Ancelotti leaves next year or
Yeah,
this year, Xabi Alonso will get
mm.
Real Madrid job. I can guarantee you this. He's not going anywhere. So
yeah.
Xabi Alonso bhul jao.
Mm.
And he also said that Tommy Tuchel will be back in the contention. But again,
Mm.
he will also be a temporary guy.
I think it's a sad state of our club where top managers are simply rejecting the job. But managers are clearly now getting more sort of aware of the fact that if we underperform there, our
Mm.
careers could be pretty much ruined, and whatever
Mm.
track we are on that is going upwards could very quickly like start going down.
Hmm.
I'm honestly I'm not happy with the kind of managers we are being linked to. I don't see that kind of excitement in any of the names that we have just discussed.
Because
Mm.
excitement मर गया है दोस्त. We have tried everything, right from a great manager to normal guy to a club legend. And even if we were to pivot, if Ineos were to pivot, let's do that. Let's try that option also because it might work.
I think apart from that, maybe if you have already thrown a lot of chips on high profile managers, maybe
Hmm.
this time around it is very necessary to only go for managers who will definitely not bring in that much expectation, because then they will try to see कैसा ठीक है, बड़ा manager, high expectations not working, get somebody with whom you will not expect much but is able to punch above the weight.
Whoever they bring needs to manage the sort of media expectations better. For example, ETH came in bombastically saying that eras will come to an end and all that. I
Hmm.
want the next manager to come in that look at this team. This team like hardly finishes top four. So this season we'll target top six. So calm down. Because Pehla question, like that Simon Stone will come from BBC with his constipated voice and he'll go like, so do you think you're in a position to challenge for the title? No, we are not. We haven't been in the position to challenge for the title for the last 10 years. So like stop this nonsense. set realistic expectations from the beginning of the season itself.
Okay, so I think that's a wrap from our end. We'll see you in the next one. Keep liking, keep sharing, keep subscribing. See you soon.
Peace.